live thing to go so I can mute it.
Well, I mean, we're going live right now, so
Oh,
and we're live. We
Did
should
you
be
send me
live.
the docs, Adam?
Yeah, I sent you the doc. Well, I mean, you have access to the doc.
True.
Hi guys. We're still being put together.
there it goes. Now it's muted. Ah, I just got to get it over to
It's
the other side.
muted.
I had to wait for it to start because there's the delay and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I think it's literally that just us that's watching.
Nice. 3 viewers already.
Well, I don't know who the extra one is because it says that there's
no.
3. So if you're watching it and John's watching it, then
I
someone's
had my
extra.
monitors back.
It says there's only 2 waiting, but then again, now 3 watching now, and we started the stream.
Yeah.
Alex Flecken, what's up, dude? I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, it's Alex.
30-ish.
The other Alex.
Yep, the other
The
Alex.
other Alex won't be here because he's at the coast.
The other
Who?
other Alex.
The other Alex.
Oh, the third.
Yeah.
There's too many now.
Technically, he's the second. And
I
then
thought he was
and then
the second.
Flecken is the third.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
So
Well, heck.
What'd you guys have for dinner?
I had Chinese food. Like
Stereotypical.
American. It's an American Chinese food.
Honey jar?
No. We went to Good World.
Is that the one over by Taco Bell?
No.
Like
this
over by
one's
the
like
Safeway?
no. This is the Airport Way. Kind of 100. Like remember where the old deli was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Closer
nearby
to
there.
that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
We're just waiting for guys to come in. What'd you eat, Alex?
I haven't eaten anything.
What are you about to eat?
Some kind of steak thing.
Some kind of steak thing.
I don't know. Kayla's in the kitchen whipping up some kind of magic, and I'm like, all right, cool, I guess.
Cookies?
I
Chocolate
wish.
chip cookies?
Oh God, yo, she made like banana chocolate chip muffins a couple days ago. Oh, I ate so many of them. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and go eat like 2 of them.
damn.
Dude,
Hey, if she's making cookies, it'd be dope if we have cookies tomorrow at the track.
Yo,
I mean, we can just go.
I could ask her. I could be like, hey, guys said it would be really cool if you made cookies. But...
If you do cookies, I'll have Crystal do Rice Krispie treats.
Oh man. Oh.
But they're not just normal Rice Krispie treats. The Rice Krispie treats with cinnamon toast crunch in them too.
What? That sounds amazing. Oh my gosh. It has never occurred to me to be like, hey, make some Rice Krispie treats and put other cereal in it. Nope, not once.
We
wow.
tried Captain Crunch one time. That was okay. But it's still Captain Crunch, right? So like it cuts your face up, your mouth.
Damn.
Yep. Hey, speaking of cereal, I've asked a couple people this. Do you guys remember French Toast Crunch?
Yes.
Yes. You mean Cinnamon Crunch?
French Toast Crunch.
No, like actual French Toast Crunch. Like they look like little pieces of toast.
Okay, my cereal day started in 97 or 98, right around there.
Oh man, these were right around like 2000s. Yeah. So like early aughts. Yep.
Oh geez, the age gap is real.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, we've known this though.
I know, but it's like it's a big gap, right?
Yeah.
Because like, what year did you graduate, Alex?
Oh God, I don't know. I dropped out, so I don't know.
What year would you have graduated, Alex?
Definitely don't know because I didn't pay attention after that.
What year did you get your driver's license?
I don't know. I was like 17, so I don't know.
Okay. So this is bad because like this is when you start having to like think about how old you are. Like I have to do math, right? To be like, how old are you? Hold on, give me a second.
I don't even do
that. And John's even older than me.
I'm old. Okay, so announcement, birthday this year. I'm turning 40.
Nice.
Yeah.
But he's Asian.
With Dave.
He's Asian, so you'd never know.
That's a mark. man.
You can
That's a
tell.
big deal.
Like I can start to see the features that you see with older Filipinos. Definitely.
Oh, I was gonna say like older
Yeah.
things in general, like forgetting, but
Well, I mean, you forget things too, but that's a different topic.
I don't know, man. I don't know what features you're talking about. You're the only like Filipino I know. Like
No, you got to know more than that.
no, John is the only one I know. I mean, okay. No, John's John's the only one I
Wait,
know.
you know B-Tone from Seattle.
That's an
He's Filipino.
acquaintance. That's more of an acquaintance.
Not someone I relatively like talk to all the time.
Ah, that's true.
you know?
Okay,
That's different.
fair
like
enough. Fair enough.
you know, I mean, like I guess I could be like, oh, I know Joe Coy. Like,
All right,
It's like I
but
saw him on
that
stage
doesn't
once.
work.
that's too funny.
Oh goodness.
Okay, what do we got? We got 7 going. Okay, let's go. Hey guys, welcome to RC Drift Talk. Apparently, that's what we're gonna call it from now on.
Who said that? I didn't
No
agree
one.
to that.
I don't know. That's
New title.
what we've been calling it by title, so it's gonna stay.
Name
Okay.
change.
Although I think RC Drift Talk also exists in other
Well,
forms
because
as
there's
well.
the RC Talks with Underground.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, RC Drift Talk.
Yeah, so you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah. So, you know me, I'm Adam. You know John. He's over there.
Yep.
The guy in the middle. Hi, who are you?
Hey, how's
Mr.
it going? I'm
Muffin.
Alex. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Not a whole lot. I don't know if anyone really knows who I am. I don't show up to the track as much as I should anymore.
No,
But
it's just you're
great.
late. You're just
You're
late all the
always
time.
late.
I have things to do on Sundays. They like laundry. That's what it is.
Wasn't Sunday your Dungeons and Dragons days?
It was for a long time. Sunday was my D&D days. My group has kind of stopped for a bit because someone is having a kid. So,
Was it the
all that.
DM?
Yeah.
Of course it would. Okay.
Yep. Oh, it's always the DM. It's like, all right, well, I guess we'll take a break for a little while. So.
Well, I mean, because if not, like, you could just keep on going, right?
Oh yeah. Forever. It was a homebrew campaign too, so like, with the kid on the way, she's not writing the campaign at the moment.
So Busted Nux went and saw D&D. That's so much easier.
Oh, I thought he played it.
Read it.
I saw Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, oh, he went and played it, or he just got back from a game or something. And I just now read the movie part.
He said it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I haven't been terribly interested in it. I've seen the trailers and I'm like, meh.
I think it's a show that, or a movie that Drea and Mel can appreciate, but I'm more like, I just go to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Just to be there.
well, because I was never into it. Like the figures and drawings was always cool, but I was never into like, oh, let me get on a game night or something.
Yeah.
Because board games to me, they're not very fun, or I don't find them appealing.
They're not engaging enough for you.
Nah.
Watch. We'll make a game of life, but we'll base it off of Drift, and then John will play it.
I played Game of Life, actually.
No,
There's
or the real Game of Life. Have you played that?
Which one's that? The one with the little cars and you put people in it?
No. Well, I mean, it's the same game,
Oh.
but you can die
Oh.
and get disease.
Real life.
A real life game.
Yeah, the game of real life.
Damn.
So, Alex, where are you located?
Well, I just relocated further south, so now I'm over in Philomath, Corvallis area. But Albany's still the home track for me, so and it's actually the same distance of a drive. It was like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get to track. It's still about 30, 35 minutes to get to track.
Which way do you take? do you go all the way back to I-5 and then backtrack again?
No, I don't know what the turn is, but over on the 34 when you cross the train tracks, there's that little like boop, turn there,
Oakville.
and that takes you in the back way of Albany.
Yeah, so you're hitting like all of the school zone and then all of that, like the whole belt line of Albany. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. But on a Sunday, it's nothing. There's nothing going on. I could just kind of shoot through real quick.
That
So,
just sounds like Oregon Trail. What sounds like Oregon Trail?
Oh, Game of Life.
Oh yeah, you died of dysentery.
Funny.
No, it uses different diseases, transmitted diseases. We'll say that.
I'm so uncomfortable right now. Goodness gracious.
Oh, from your injury.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was my cat's fault, 100%.
Oh,
Oh, I blame her 100%. She's laying on the stairs right now, too, waiting for me to have to go back down them.
It's like, I'm gonna get you for the second time.
Truth.
okay.
God.
So your Facebook actually brought up a memory of the original days when you
Yeah.
started. So tell us a little bit of how you got started into drift, RC
Man.
drift.
That was, I don't remember what did it say, 4 years ago? Was that what the reshare was?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit longer than that, maybe 6.
It's
I
not
don't
like
remember.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that little tiny carpet square was the original days of when Lance and I actually started, and it was all actually between crawler comps. So there would be so many people for the crawler comps, and you only run one. You're running one class, so the time it takes to get to your name takes forever. So we needed something to do in between, and him and I had been checking it out and thought the drifting was pretty cool. I had mentioned it to him, and he's like, "Well, yeah, that's sweet." And next thing you know, I bought one, and he converted a car, and we used to play around in that little tiny square for a bit. We started to kind of turn a couple people and pull them over, and that's actually how Jake and Neil and all of those guys turned into drifting as well.
Crawling nerds.
Crawler
Jeez.
nerds turned drifters. Then yeah. Yep. The original group of Midnight Suns was Jake, Neil, Lance, Cole, and myself. That was the original 5 who started our little small, whatever you want to call it, and our little portable track crap. And then it turned into what it is now. We met you guys through. Well, Lance and I met you guys through Chuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
It was either at the Deuces. It was Deuces poker run. Was it a poker run or was it at Park? Because those would have been the 2 events.
No, the very first time we met you guys was at PDX Underground's old place, and it was an event that Chuck put on.
That was the anniversary the other day too.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Momo posted the picture of the event flyer, and it had my 4-door Skyline on it. Like,
long time ago.
Yeah,
That's
long
crazy.
time ago.
It had my pink 8.6 on there, which I still have, and I'm running it right now. I ran it the last weekend at Midnight Drift.
The Pepto Bismol
Nice.
8.6.
Yeah, the Pepto Pink. Yeah, my other Pepto Pink up there.
Yeah, all we see is Hot Wheels.
Yeah, that's what's level right now. My shelves are right above these guys.
Gotcha.
Nice. I do have a question though before you move on to the next one. What do you do for work?
Me?
Mhm.
I'm unemployed. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not. We were just talking about how you're working somewhere and you have your anime laptop thing.
Wait, what?
Me? What?
No,
Wait, what?
That was on your laptop. or something like that. It was a while back, but we were in a parking lot talking about some laptop sticker or some crap.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm
So-
like. No, you're not.
yeah, that was a laptop I got from Lance. He had given it to me, and it had a laptop vinyl over the front of it that is definitely inappropriate to take to work. There's a really funny story about this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's that without you getting demonetized. I don't know. Someone will get it. Lance will know. Yeah.
Of
It'll
course,
be in the-
Lance would
it'll be
know.
in the
Like he,
comment
it's like, he's the one that put it on, right? No.
Yeah. But I work in IT, so it was one of those like, man, I can't bring this laptop to work and do anything on it because it's not appropriate for work.
Okay, so between our small little group, we have a lot of power to like actually do and to like manufacture crap and market. Like
Totally. Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
like Midnight Mini could go so far if we actually
It
put
realistically could. I mean, like, yo, you guys hit it out of the park with that. The whole Midnight Mini thing. That was unbelievable.
yeah,
and it's
like
still going. I mean, it's like people see the mini at the track and they're like, how'd you fit a Miata body on that? And it's like, well, it's actually a shorter chassis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Custom built. Yep.
it's pretty cool.
Judson is buying my mini Z tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Why are you selling your Z?
Because I need wheels and tires for the real car. So okay. So side note, get this. The Corolla. This is a Toyota Corolla, okay? John, how wide are your rear wheels on your car?
Stock ones are 7.5 or 8s.
What are they now?
Oh, I'm running the stock wheels right now, but my other wheels are 18 by 8.5s.
Okay. So the stock wheels that I have on my car right now are 18 by 8 with a 40 offset. People are fitting 18 by 9.5-inch wheels on the car. And like
Wow.
the like meaty boy fitment is like 245 or 255 by 35 by 18
Damn.
on a Corolla.
I
I've been
mean,
looking at stuff
it
online.
does run what 200 horses on that thing. You can run.
Only on stage 2 tune,
Mm.
which I don't want to. That's like a $10,000 endeavor that I'd rather not go on.
Is yours the base model?
It's an SE trim, but it's the special edition. So it has the 18-inch wheels stock and then like a little aero kit. It's all mainly aero.
Yeah.
An electronics package, right?
No. So standard package for electronics.
No touchscreen, like
Well, that's all standard in Toyota though.
well, no, like because Mel's car didn't come with CarPlay or Android Connect.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have CarPlay.
So you get the step up like electronic package.
Well, Mel's car is older too, right? It's like
17. My truck had CarPlay.
oh, did it? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's a 17. I got CarPlay.
So
Anyway,
Just sounds like my car is better. I don't know.
so yeah, the expensive part right now is actually the tires, because the
Yeah.
tires are about $1,000 no matter how you split it. I could save a few hundred by going down to 235, but then like the stretch on the tire is a little bit much for me. I don't want to go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's why I haven't gone drifting, because if I go
Tires.
drifting, tires. Like
Man,
I guess you can cheap out and like buy the $100 tires, but they'll last me a track day.
I always think about you drifting that car, and I'm like, man, that's his daily, like, right?
you're not the only one.
And you also owe on it, right?
Yeah, and
I
gap
don't know, man.
insurance.
I couldn't bring myself to do that. It takes one bad track day to just totally throw yourself into a ditch on that, because that's oh god.
Nah. Oh, I mean, it's like you're daily driving it. You're driving with thousands and thousands of people to versus you're on a track and everybody's trying to do the same thing. I feel like it's a lot safer
Oh, I'm
than
not
being
worried about other people on the track. I'm talking about yourself on the track.
nah.
It takes one bad track day to just be like, well, there goes the rear end. Like, you
Yep.
know, no, man, I couldn't risk it. Couldn't risk it.
I mean, so I know it's video game to real life, but how many hours do you have in a Seto, John?
I would roughly say around 60 to 80 hours total,
That's
Okay.
it.
maybe. Yeah, like I mean, when we get a kick to do a seto, I'll probably do it for like 3 hours total, unless we're like doing it every weekend or every week.
I'm like in between 250 and 300.
Damn.
He has a family, Adam.
No, I mean, I used to.
No.
I mean, I used to drive a seto like when I was getting into it when I got my Fanatec set up. I was doing a seto like half hour in the morning and then half hour at night for like a straight 2 maybe 3 weeks.
Oh man,
Mhm.
that's good self-control, because I will spend hours on a video game if I like it.
Dude, Hogwarts
I'm not-
Legacy.
Yeah, I don't
Man.
have $70, and I just bought new O-rings and bladders for my shocks. So
So
I'm
let's
good.
let's actually get into that since we are a RC drift talk show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know, right?
yeah.
So, okay, you've actually moved around on your chassis by like a lot in terms of what you had versus what you have now.
Oh, tons. Yeah.
So, okay, you originally had a overdose golem that was pretty modded, right?
Are we talking like originally? Because like the Golem's pretty late game.
Well,
Yeah, let's go. Let's start originally.
I originally started out with a YD2S and had that for a while, which is the YD2S that Chris owns now.
yeah, Momo.
Yep.
I thought it was red for some reason.
Was not, because it had Oniseki electronics and an Oniseki motor, and it was plastic fantastic with the gold fan turbo thing from Eagle Racing
When Eagle Racing was still a thing.
when it was still a thing. Yes, yep. The second YD2S that I had all the modifications done to it. I changed a handful of things on it. Yeah, I've owned a couple YD2s. I've owned a I've owned 2 MSTs. I've owned 2 GRKs. Holy moly. I had a fake RER for a while.
Bakery.
I had another YD2S that went through a bunch of iterations, and then I had a Golem, and then I had the Golem for quite a few years. The Golem went through probably the most changes out of any chassis that I've owned, from just various, overdose upgrade parts, to full-on conversions. I did a kamikaze conversion on it for a short while there, which was really nice with the whole kamikaze slide rack and everything. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I wanted to, and ended up selling it, and that's when I really started putting money into upgrading the Golem into what it was before I got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And now I own an RER again, a real one.
yes, a real one.
Yeah.
Although it still doesn't have the turbofan on it yet.
It doesn't. No. I there's quite a few things that I want for it that it doesn't have. And I have to unfortunately go fishing for that stuff through the RC marketplace and see what I can find, or if anyone is willing to part with some of those things. Because Jake was not willing to do that for me. He wasn't like, "Oh yeah, homie, you have an RER now. Let me sell you some bits off of mine." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna sell it whole." I was like, "All right, that's cool, man. I feel you."
I mean, but there wasn't a lot like in between his and what you have, right? It had the top deck, but
It had the top deck. It had the quick, the easy access top.
the battery. No, wait.
Yeah, I forget what the one touch. That's what they call it. Um, but I think he only had the short variant of that, and I run a long full size roar for mine.
Mhm.
Um, he also had, I think, the black multi link.
No, his
No,
looks like a Christmas tree. His is green and red.
is it red? Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if it was a black one. I would have been like, oh, I had everything except for the turbo fan. Yeah, see, he had all the good bits that I wanted except for the turbo fan. But I
Mhm.
have a multi link on mine, so. Oh, he had the long battery mount. Oh, that's cool. That's always appreciated. Yeah, I appreciate you even more, buddy. Really do, man. Goodness.
I
I
mean,
was tempted to hit up Jake for the VR. I was like, maybe I could swing it, but
Oh man.
but really though, like I mean, both of you have already had like an RER, right? So like, is it
Mhm.
really something to like revisit?
At this point in time, I would say yeah, just because when I had my first one, and mind you, that was the clone. Um, I didn't totally understand tuning as much as you really need to for that kind of car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know about John.
uh, I think it's more like it's that chassis that like is gone, right? Like I just want to have it again, and then the tuning aspect of it, I know more now for tuning and driving style wise is different. So I
Yep.
feel like
Hold on.
I I want to give it another go.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was robbed a chance to like do that. So and that's why I want to I want to get another one. It's just too many things are going on. Like we're drifting real cars. This year we're gonna try and be competitive with RC drifting. So we're we're doing things. We're
Yeah.
trying. So I as much as it's one of those things that I really want, it's like I should hold off and see what happens in October or what happens the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep. I
Unless
agree with
Jake
him.
wants to make me a deal, then Jake, we can talk later.
Isn't
I
it
think
already sold? It's
yeah,
already
I think he
sold.
managed
Did
to
you
sell
sell
it
it?
actually.
Nah.
Yeah.
Jake, call me if you sold it.
I'm
Uh,
pretty sure it's sold.
Yeah.
As we wait, I don't
I
know.
always hate the delay.
yeah,
Yeah,
sold.
it's sold. Yeah. Bummer.
Well, since we're
See,
talking
that I
about
would have been asking
that's your
you
main
about.
chassis right now, right?
Say that
What?
again?
What, John?
Your main chassis right now is the RER,
No.
Alex.
No, my main chassis is actually a YD2E, which I've never owned before. Um, so I'm on an E plus right now. Nothing done to it. It is pretty much stock except for the fact that the plus came with carbon and big bore shocks. Um, and I'm digging it. I'm kind of retuning it a little bit here and there. I had to order new bits for my shocks, which I just mentioned,
Mhm.
because it had been sitting for a long time before I acquired it, and the shocks were just the O rings were swollen, so they were sticky,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, that is my main car, and that's actually what I plan to be comping this season is the YD2E, probably in its current state because I can't really afford um, the conversion kits that I want to do at the moment. So
So so thinking about it, it's kind of funny. So you had a Gulm, now you're on an E,
yeah,
which if you really think about it, it's the same car.
Yeah, minus inverted shocks. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, if you look at plastic and plastic, I don't know. I think that both of those cars, bone stock, it comes down to the driver. I really don't feel like either or of those cars, bone stock, are better than the other. Um, I like them both equally. They
Mhm.
feel fantastic. Especially the Golem. The Golem, one of my favorite cars out of the box, with the exception of the MST. It was an amazing car out of the box.
So I would I would disagree. I think that the overdose actually has the leg up on the YD2E specifically. If we're talking
Okay,
about
sure.
anything else, then maybe. But E versus Galm, I think Galm wins.
Yeah, if we're talking like the new plus, or even the version that I got, the version 2, yeah,
Mhm.
I
Well,
can give you that.
the difference between the 2 and the 2 plus is just like FDR and then minor spring changes. Like that's
Yes. The
really what
difference
it is.
between the version 2 and the original, though, are pretty big. That
Mhm.
the rear arm change was a huge deal for the Golem. That made the transitions feel so much better in it. You know,
Mhm.
they also changed, I think, the front arm setup slightly. There's something else about it. I can't remember off the top of my head what V2 was, but it took a long ass time before we got a V2. So
John, you need a Galm so you can join this conversation.
No, I
Honestly,
mean
though,
it would be cool to like try all the chassis, right? Like
mhm.
I'm kind of looking at the new MSC 2.5.
No,
yeah.
just go more
Oh,
interesting and get the MRX.
What the MRX?
the
If it actually comes out this time,
It's out,
like you
not
can
in
buy it on
stock.
Google. Yeah, okay, that's what I mean. Well, like right, if we, yeah, like it would just be one of those. Like I want to drive one and tune one, just kind of
yeah.
like how I drove the RDS,
Mhm.
and I helped tune another RDS at PDX. Um, yeah, so the RDS is there for like a kit. I would say that
Man, I would love to comp an RDX.
RDS or RDX.
The
Red Cat,
No,
the Revdy
Rev
RDX.
yeah, sorry, my bad. No, the
That's
Red Cat
unaccounted.
surprisingly has been looking really good, and the more I look at it, the more I'm tempted to buy one. The price is right on them.
Mhm. I was I'm telling like Alex has one and he's probably gonna get rid of it. Plekin. I'm kind
Oh
of like,
yeah,
hey, let me get that. Let me put my electronics in it. Let me drive it for like a couple of weeks at PDX, and
yeah,
like let me do my tune that I do.
Alex, you heard it first.
that's true.
No, sorry, Alex P. Heard it
Alex
first.
Plekin. That's gonna be first comp, the Super G series, Red Cat,
Honest,
RDS. No,
honestly, I'm gonna
no,
be
I'm
curious at
just
how
kidding. I'm
many.
just
Like, I'm gonna be
right.
curious at how many are gonna be there.
Oh, I agree. I'm really
Mhm.
curious how many are going to make it.
Mhm.
I suspect quite a few. I suspect there's going to be quite a few new chassis this year, just because we got so many new cars that came out this year that are all fairly competitive cars.
So it's funny because when you like, I was watching the Super G uh, championship last year, right? And
Yeah,
it's like every single YD2 was literally a Razor Performance chassis,
yeah, yep,
like almost very literally, almost. And then you had your like typical mix of the bunch too. But now it'll be pretty interesting.
It's gonna
I
be Megalodon
Yeah, well,
Sharks
a lot of sharks, a lot
or
of
the Megalodon
MD1s.
yeah.
RDX.
I'd
Stuff like
love to
that.
do a conversion, like a Razor conversion or something for my E. I've been looking at the beast mode conversion for my E.
Oh yeah, another direct steering rack too.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to give that another try. I had their beast mode for the RMX, and I absolutely loved it. That chassis was a monster.
Uh, Beast mode is a rear motor car, right?
Beast mode?
Yeah, for
No,
YD2.
their YD2 conversion fits all the YD2 models.
Okay.
Same with their RMX conversions that fits all the RMX models, the RX and the RR, or the RRX and the RMX and all that jazz.
That's too many letters to remember.
Yeah, I know. I always get them kind of what I'm trying to say. I'm like, all right, well,
I mean, it is what it is. Like the, I. It's funny that Red Cat named theirs the RDS, and then we have Rev D RDX,
yep.
and then we have MST MRX and RMX.
Yep. Can't we just be like drift car?
Well, and then we have like the weird chassis conversions, right? So it's not only the Shark, we have the what's the scale science conversion called?
Oh,
I don't remember.
I forget. Hold on. I got it. Maybe.
yeah. I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, whatever it is, and then we have the Megalodon, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is the Hydra. That's right.
Oh,
Scale science Hydra conversion for the Shark. But isn't that funny?
I'm sorry. What was that? It's a conversion for a conversion.
Yeah, didn't you like we did an entire stream about this?
Was it last episode? Because probably wasn't here, or I wasn't paying attention working at my desk.
I think it was 2 streams ago, maybe.
Uh,
Like it was
Conversion
conversions
that-
on conversions.
Yeah, 2 streams ago. That's how I was there.
conversion for conversion. I can't.
Yeah, Lance has one. So he has a Shark. He has a YD2. He has a Shark that he converted it to. Now he has the Megalodon chassis. So does Jake. So if we want to talk crazy for a little bit here, so your basic YD2S or RD1, right? It's gonna be like 270, 280, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Plastic parts, right? But we know Jake and we know Lance, right? So we'll negate that and just use plastic parts for now. So 280 for the original base chassis. The Shark conversion is $380. And the Megalodon chassis carbon is another 190, I believe.
Oh my god.
Damn. Yeah.
Man.
I was offered a Shark chassis to play with once the said person gets their Megalodon. Or
James?
Megalodon. No. So
Yes.
no,
It's other Alex, huh?
it's other Alex. No,
Yeah,
wait.
it's not this Alex. I know that. I'm broke. I was gonna make a comment about like, man, there's all these crazy things out here, and I'm just like, Doc over here can't afford nothing. Long gone are the days when I could just
The
frivolously
RDX
buy
is
RC.
basically Jake's build. I haven't touched it other than putting my own electronics in it. And that thing's been pretty fantastic. Jake hates it though.
Jake?
I mean,
Jake hates the RDX
RDX. So
or how it does.
RDX is nowhere close to Jake's driving style, though. Like
Yeah.
RDX for what it is, I would call as a very aggressive driving style. Jake is kind of like sit back, drinking a coffee, like smoking
No.
a cigar.
It's beer. It's beer or wine.
I'm sorry. Are we talking about our Jake, Team Jake? Like,
Yeah.
Team
Yeah.
Jake.
we're saying he doesn't have an aggressive driving style. I don't know who you guys drive with. That's 100%.
Because
If
Jake
he's
sandbags it and we're just tandeming, he just sandbags it. And then
He's
at comp, he destroys it.
he's so aggressive. He's the most aggressive driver that we have at Northwest. Him and Neil. I'm sorry, both of you guys. He's
No, Neil's kind of toned down. But seriously though, like both Neil and Jake have like the same exact driving style, which is
They do.
not like
Yeah.
it's not like turbo everywhere, right? It's very 13.5 like mid to low throttle. Like that is their driving style. How they drive
that's
their cars like
great.
that, I have no idea.
Yeah. the 13.5 trend.
Dude,
Yeah.
pretty soon it'll be 17.5 and 21.5.
I
No, okay. When we go down that low, there's not enough. I don't think 17.5 is doable. 21.5, I don't know.
Dude, Todd has a 21.5 on his RDS.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm here for 17.5.
17.5 is good, especially when they're not like the race torque motors. Like
Yeah.
an old clapped out motor from like 10 years ago for like a 17.5 is great for what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's
I
what
just switched back to 10.5s actually.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to go with a shorter gearing.
Mhm.
So I'm digging it. I excuse me, I have the burps. I forgot what I was talking about.
Motors 10.5.
Motors, 10.5s, 13.5s. I ran 13.5 for quite a while in the column. And then it wasn't until I went to the high motor stuff that I decided, let me go back to a 10.5 and see if I like that more. Because way back when I was doing high motor chassis, that's what I was running was 10.5s.
Mhm.
So
Like for this is actually great because we're going to be talking about rotor tuning in a few moments here. So um but yeah, like for me like 10.5 is my jam, right? Like I like where the good usable power is on a 10.5 versus a 13.5.
yeah,
13.5 to me feels like I have to pull a lot more where that's
yep.
not where I'm comfortable with, right? So that's
Because
why I
it's
drive.
all there on the top side of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still playing with a 10.5 and 13.5. So the mini's on a 10.5 since I took that off the RDX. And then a 13.5, it just seems like it works for what I'm trying to do. Now I haven't driven Northwest in a while. So we'll see. Maybe tomorrow I'll get to test that out. Um, if it'll drive like how I want it to.
Mhm.
It's slow like usual.
What are you talking about? 13.5 is not slow.
No. Northwest, the
Oh,
track, Northwest. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, okay, so you guys say that, but then when we're actually like when we get into the zone of just tandeming and like just going laps after laps, it's not slow.
I
doesn't
mean,
feel slow. It's
compare
still slower. It is significantly slower than polished top.
Or I could just be driving with a bunch of slow people in Portland.
That too. You drive with a bunch of new guys. No offense to any of them.
Yeah. I mean, I could count a handful. There's a handful of fast guys out
Yeah,
here. That's about it.
yeah,
Mhm. And I think that's really gonna, well, it's gonna be interesting when competition starts up in May, because it's like everyone is gonna tune for P-Tile up there, because that's what they're on. So when they come down and compete, it's it'll be kind of like a slap in the face, like honestly.
yeah. A
Well,
little bit.
I don't know. Well, to them, right? Because I don't know how many people are actually going to compete in the series from this side.
We
Uh,
have guys up there that have already signed up that are Portland native.
but they've
Well,
driven at Northwest before.
yeah.
Well, yeah, Northwest was their track, but now their home track is Portland.
Mhm.
So, well, what he's saying is like, they're going to tune for driving their home track. You know what I mean? Unless they make the track down all the time to rip Northwest.
Mhm.
To once we're at that point, but I
Yeah.
I don't know. When I went up to PDX, I ran my current Northwest tune there, and I didn't feel like I had any issues with it. I felt like it
Well,
was,
no. You shouldn't have any issues.
yeah,
So you tune at Northwest and you drive on P-Tile,
yeah.
rocket.
Oh,
Like,
always. Yep.
it should be fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about the other way.
No,
So
no,
like,
but that's what Alex was saying, that he drove his Northwest car and he didn't have any issues. And I'm telling you, yeah, if you go from polished concrete to P-Tile, there shouldn't be issues.
Yeah.
mhm.
You're
Al-
almost too fast if you're driving with the locals that's tuned on P tile.
Speaking of too
Let's see,
fast.
when those guys start tuning down to slow down up there, when that track speed up there starts to come back down to a reasonable speed, and we're not, racing on that track, um, that's going to be difficult to jump from P tile to concrete with a tune adjusted to be slower on P tile, because then it'll just be icier than all hell on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, scoot to your right.
Me?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, I see. I see. I'm sorry, my butt hurts. Jeez, that tailbone is not comfortable, man.
I mean, your
Like,
chair has casters on it.
ow.
It can
What?
roll. Your chair has rollers on it. You can move the chair. Or does it
Oh
not have
yeah.
rollers?
I, ow. My desk is I can't just slide under my desk comfortably. Like here now, this is where I can slide under my desk. So yeah, I always kind of keep my chair like right here.
Let's see, Jake. The only thing I change on my car from PDX to Northwest is +1 gyro profile and +2 gain. Otherwise, suspension setup stays exactly the same. But so the main difference, Jake, is that you can drive, and you know how to drive.
You also know how to tune, and you've been driving and tuning for a while. There's a huge skill gap between you and some of the other guys.
Mm-hmm. I didn't change my car for our little back-to-back competition for P-Tile because
Yeah, nor did I.
yeah, and yeah, that fell horribly in my face.
Oh yeah, same here.
You missed out, John.
Nope, I didn't.
Yes,
I
you
was a
did.
hoot.
It was great.
Yep. It was a good time. It was a hoot. It was, just all our local guys, So
Yep.
fun to get down.
Okay, so let's get into rotor tuning because that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks or so.
Nice.
Did you ever change your rotor out on your agile? You have an agile, right?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I never did. I've left in every agile that I've owned. I have left the stock rotor in it. I never got into the whole rotor changing or anything like that. I don't know. I partly the cash situation, and the other side of that was I didn't feel like it was necessary. I feel like I could always achieve the same feel tuning wise,
Mm-hmm.
off of ESC, etc.
Right. So I do think that it's a problem, right? Because since everything is so expensive, it's not like we can just throw money here and there to try everything, right?
Yeah.
So how much of that could just be the fact that you've never tried anything else?
Yep. How much is it actually a performance game? Granted, there's plenty of stuff out there that shows and proves how much of a performance gain you're actually getting from the torque rotor changing.
Mhm.
I mean, we know that just based off of how old wound motors used to be back in the day, when you take a stock can, pull it apart, unwind it, down to 10 turns and rip that thing down the road till it blows up.
Mhm.
We know rotor changes make a difference.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but sorry, go ahead.
What other motors have you had in comparison?
I've ran the Oniseki and I've ran a Yokomo actually. I ran a Yokomo for a while, the torque version.
Okay, so you've been up and down the scale, in terms of
bit,
torque.
yeah.
Then, so Oniseki probably being the least, Agile being in the middle, and then the Yokomo torque being absolutely retarded.
Yeah. Yep, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, John?
Motor wise, let's see. Yokomo, and then Rev D, and then Agile, and then now Fledge.
Okay, and it's stock fledge, right?
Yeah, 13.5. I
Okay,
think it's stock. Yeah.
so
Yeah, no LB45 or whatever it is.
yeah, so stock fledge is level 38. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if that changes from 10.5 to 13.5 though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I never opened it or never paid attention.
You
Literally
can,
bought the motor and slapped it on.
I mean, you can find out by just looking at the number on the rotor. So AccuVance did a really, really good job of that.
Yeah, they did.
Anyway, okay, so Stan, where does Fledge sit in that scale? Fledge would sit above the Agile, and we're talking about stock Fledge. It's gonna sit above Agile but below the Yokomo Torque. Like,
Yeah.
um, if level 38 is like the stock Fledge, think of like the Yokomo Torque at like 60.
Yeah, the Yokomo torque is really, really torquey. Like it's hard to spin that rotor with your fingers. Um, I wanted to ask John a similar question to what Sam asked was, since you've had the Agile and the Fledge, have you noticed any difference in torque compared to the two?
Yeah, definitely. So on remember how we're trying to do the hop tune, Adam,
Yeah,
to make
which
the
it's
hop a little bit more.
which it
So
still
the
doesn't.
10.5, the same pinion gear. The 13.5 definitely is more noticeable hop versus the 10.5.
Well, yeah,
So
that's a physical thing. We already know that a 13.5 is going to have more torque inherently than a 10.5.
But
Yeah.
if we're talking driving wise, the 13.5 definitely has like a better feel. Like I feel like with throttle control, the 13.5 goes for like from the
But
low end to
hold on,
can I interrupt real quick? Because your
that
your Fledge that you had and your Agile, were they
Mhm.
the same 10 and 10, or were they 10 and 13 or 13 and 13?
10 and 13.5.
no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. So he's talking about your agile.
Oh, okay.
No,
So I only have
okay,
a
never
10.
mind. So agile is 10.5, Fledge is 13.5.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. That kind of defeats the question that I was originally asking,
Oh, I
because
thought you
like
were.
for 10 and 10, I wanted to know, do you notice any major difference between
Oh no.
work, etc.?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I got that question wrong. Like
Yeah, that's okay. I think I worded it poorly too.
So AccuVance USA, I believe, actually has that information on like the numbers in terms of um RPM.
Yeah. I've never spent enough time there to look at it.
yeah, it's one of those where I just like, yeah, okay, that one.
So
Yeah.
if I remember right, agile falls it's kind of a, what is it? It's a mix of like RPM and torque in terms of which one has more like RPM versus wow, I'm just talking in circles. Agile technically falls below the Fledge in terms of torque. That's the overall idea of it. But then the popular mod for the Agile is the torque rotor, like whichever torque rotor that you can get. So that's what I've been doing with the BS dual motors and the Fledge. So a level 45 Fledge compared to a level 38 is very, very minimal in terms of like the change, but it is noticeable. Um, so of course we have level 38, then 45, and then Yokomo torque motor up at the top, right? So one interesting thing that I did 2 weeks ago is that I took because I have a Yokomo torque motor and an RPM motor. I absolutely hated both motors, so I swapped rotors. So right now in my Shark, I have a Yokomo R can with the Yokomo torque rotor. So it's a 12.5 millimeter rotor in the RPM can.
Uh,
Which feels very reminiscent of a level 45 Fledge.
huh.
So the way that you can go about it, which is kind of funny, right? Because You can buy a Yokomo Type R can for about $110, $120. And then as long as you can find it, you can buy a rotor for like $30, which are still under the cost of a fledge.
Yeah. Yeah. That extra fan adds a lot
30
of
bucks, yeah. So you
Yeah.
don't have to get the fan though. Like a typical fledge without the fan is $150.
They sell an unfanned fledge? I didn't know that.
Yep, yep.
Oh heck. Okay.
So it's only stock though, so you'll only get the level 38 and then need to upgrade. So making your $150 purchase $180 purchase if you wanted the fan. Like after
See, but
on
I'm
top of
finding
that.
myself not liking a torque. I like the RPM.
And right, and it's different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
For me, my trigger pull, I like to have the torque at the bottom end of the of my 10.5, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's coming in handy, like coming in clutch for me, because I
Yep.
can just like sit on the bottom end and just like get this car to squat whenever I need it on minimal input. And then so I also have BS dual motors, right? The tried and true BS dual motors,
Yeah. Everyone's had them. Everyone loves them. Not a single person talks bad about them.
except for John because he's never had one.
I've never had one. Actually, I've never had one. I've only driven other people's cars with them. I'm like, damn, these feel great. Like,
Mm-hmm. So stock BS dual, which you can't get anymore. Actually, hold on. You can still get them on
Advance
AccuVents
USA.
US. So they have 9.5, 11.5, 8.5, 8.5, 17.5. So mind you, you guys, the BS dual, like right now they're on sale for $64, $63.75.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's a
that's pretty
good
good.
motor.
Yeah, for the cost and for the performance for these motors, you're not gonna get any better.
No. Oh no, you'll never find anything cheaper that will outperform a BS dual right now. There's no way.
Mhm.
Nope.
So stock rotor is 12.3, which is the equivalent to the Yokomo Type R motor, right? It doesn't feel anything like that though.
Nope.
So 12.3, and then I got the 12.5 and the 13.0 rotor. 13.0 rotor is kind of along the lines of a level 45, a little bit more, to be honest. And then the 12.5 is more reminiscent of like a stock level 38 rotor for a fledge. So the difference though is that when you're rotating the motor, the magnetic force is not the it doesn't click the same like a fledge does.
Yeah.
Or like a Yokomo. Like the windings are different,
Yeah.
which causes it to be not as smooth. So like that's the overall finding that I have is that even with the larger rotors, the BS dual lacks because of the overall smoothness compared to other motors. Still a
Yeah.
good motor though.
See, I'm spoiled with the Agile because that's all I really like to use. And that is the smoothest motor out there. It's so buttery.
Now I will say that if you want to go that way, then the Hobbywing D10 motors are probably the smoothest because they have no
Really?
torque at all.
I've been seeing the hobby wings become very popular too. Very, very popular.
And so what Alex was it Alex? It was Alex. It was Alex. Because he had a hobby wing, a 10.5 and a 13.5, right?
Yeah.
But the 13.5 actually comes with a medium strength rotor in it. So he took the 13.5 rotor and put it in the 10.5, and that actually felt pretty decent. Like we're talking upwards because it actually had some like torque at that point.
Yeah.
Pretty close to fledge.
Interesting.
So like all of these motors that are out there, you can tune them to whatever you want. It's just again having the money to like pour out of your
Play with
pockets.
and buy different things. Well, you also have to know, like, I mean, if you're not, yeah, okay, never mind. I was gonna say if you're not spending, blowing hard cash to upgrade all the time and whatnot to try different things, like you really have to know how everything feels already before you really start plunking cash on stuff. You
Which
know,
is
it's good.
it's so counterproductive to our hobby though, because like
It is.
I don't want to throw some odd $30-$40 for something that might not do anything.
Yep.
Like
That's why it's good to drive everyone else's car, feel everyone else's car, even if it doesn't fit your driving style or tune or anything like that. Drive everyone else's car just to kind of understand, like, oh, you have this part that I'm interested in. Okay. And sure, maybe you don't like the way their gyro feels or the way their steering is set up, but let's say it is motor related, and they've got something you were interested in. Focus on how their car feels in that aspect. Oh, okay, I really like how your car torques, the torque feels on this, or I really like the ramp up you've got going on here. It's not always about how you can drive everyone else's car. Focus on those other bits.
yeah,
It's
yep.
you know.
I mean, but speaking of driving everyone else's car, like that's so John, you're pretty much driving everyone else's car, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like when you're tuning, like as far as motor goes, like are you recognizing how do you want to say it? Like the specificity of like where like how much you're pulling the trigger to where the car is actually doing, like what it is or what you need it to do.
Yeah, I mean, so every car is different. I mean, Jake's car is different than mine, or Alex's, or even Mike's car. Mike's car, the way he's got his car set up, they're probably pretty close to how my car drives.
Which Mike?
Mike Rosa.
Mm.
Um, just because I think it's pretty close to the same driving style. But a lot of the new guys, actually, for example, Judd, um, he just built his ZX, and that thing it felt pretty good. I was 2 laps and I was tandeming and keeping up with everybody. Very surprising because I was like, oh, it's a ZX and different motors, different gyros, but it probably felt the best as far as like compared to my car.
Yeah.
Mm.
A little bit of getting used to, but compared to my car, I probably felt the best. The new guys with the MSTs and the Yokomos, a lot of them, one guy didn't even have a gyro on, like, and he was trying to drive around the track.
Mm.
The RDS that was there that we tuned last night, he's got a 470 gyro on it. It's drivable, but it felt floaty. But the trigger pull, there's definitely differences. I mean, different radios, different motors. So sometimes I'm finding myself pulling on the trigger like very little, and then sometimes I'm pulling it all the way back just
Yeah.
to for power. The MST cars, God, those cars, they could be good. Like they could be good. Just depending on what motor. That motor that's in there is trash. Like
Oh, the stock one is absolute garbage.
it's just there's well like again it could be the radio, right? It's a combination of all the cheap electronic that's on there to sell it to somebody for $500
Yeah.
versus like here's a $2,000 car, right? So that could be it, but definitely radio upgrade is, I almost want to say it's a must for like that should be your first step, if not your servo or gyro.
I agree.
Oh yeah. I've if we're talking um the RTR, goodness gracious, it took me a second there. If we're talking the RTR, I actually think, even though the motor and the ESC are trash, they totally are. I honestly think the first upgrade that needs to be done on that car is the servo and gyro combo on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right out the gate, get rid of those and do a servo and gyro change, and that will be a huge change in how the car performs,
Mm-hmm.
even with the stock radio. You know,
Mhm.
that you can get away with the motor and the ESC because that's really just going to teach you the throttle control you have to have when you move into bigger and better ESCs and motors that have such a wide range in power and torque when you're running them, you know. So I think personally the RTR MST is by far hands down the best learning tool out there. I don't think you could find a better car right now than that.
I mean, I have a better learning tool. Random plug. My MD1 is up for sale.
Oh my no, gosh.
It's a great learning tool. What are you talking
No,
about?
sir. Yep. No.
If you
It
have,
depends on what you look at as a learning tool. Yes, if you're trying to learn how to drift and you want to drift in a parking lot, MST all the way, right? Like that's your basher drift car.
I disagree, man.
Well, no. I mean, like I said, if you're trying to, you're like, I just need a car out of the box that will drift. Okay, okay. Let me be a little bit more generous. That will drift, like, like it will drift. Like I've driven them, and they can drive on a track. It's just when you're so used to your high electronics or high end electronics, you're like, this is a piece of shit, right? Like this is a piece of
That's different. Yeah.
but
Sure.
if you're like, I'm new, I want to get into it. I mean,
That's a great way to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get a good body, you
Yep.
get your electronics. It's a drift car ready to go. So
Yeah.
like if you're like, dude, me and my buddy's gonna pick one up. We're gonna drive on the parking lot. We're gonna drift off the curb into the parking lot and then back around the other side. Great, if that's all you have. If that's where you're starting at. The minute you go to a track and you see all these guys and you're like, holy shit, they're fast. How come your cars like this one guy? Last night he was talking to me. He's like, you guys should make a longer straight to where you can like really get cooking and then flick it sideways and do a wall ride and then like hit that corner. And I was like, and then he drove a car and I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's like, but if you're looking for a great starter car, MST hands down because it's
Mhm.
ready to go.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a great car, that's like if someone's already set it up like Adam has, like the MD1, and it's already got electronics, and then it's got a build sheet of like what's on there and what it's tuned like, and then you're like, oh, just put in my electronics, here you go, good to go. That's a good car because it's already up to a standard that it's driftable or it did drift.
But if
And so
you don't
like,
know anything about anything, I don't think getting into a car like that is worth it. Because sure, let's say, you know, let's say someone's got a ready to go. It's ready to rip. You just put your electronics in it, A plus, you know, and they want like $800 for it. And you think, oh, that's way better than just buying an MST. You're stepping into a car that has been tuned for someone's driving style when you know shit about the car or drifting in general. That's a terrible way to walk into it, in my opinion. Just because now you've got this car that's top notch, but you don't know anything about how it's driving or what's affecting what, especially in your learning process. That's why I think those MSTs being as locked and limited as they are, it gives you that opportunity to learn the full range of everything you need to know before you go diving headfirst into an expensive car.
well, and then that's why I said it the way I said it. That's why I put the MST as like a great beginner. I'm just gonna get into a car.
Yes,
But
yeah,
if you're like you're
you're
at
right.
the track and you've been at the track for like so many times and you have an RC background, like getting a car that you know that drives already and that you've seen drift, you kind of
Yes,
puts it at standard. There's a standard build that you're like, okay, cool, that's what it's supposed to do, coming from an RC background. But if you're like, I'm putting a kit together and then you're just putting it together. Oh no, I wouldn't recommend that for a
no, yeah.
beginner. But if you're like, oh, I've been crawling, I've been racing buggies, and I have a road car background, I'm trying to get into drift.
9:09 p.m.
I don't know what
Yes.
that was,
It is 9:09 p.m.
But,
Good call.
Nine.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like you know, because I see a lot of guys that builds a kit have no clue what they're doing. They don't know what the car's supposed to feel like, so they don't even turn on the gyro for like, you know, it's one of those like, oh, your gyro's not even on, but you put it on there.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you get a car that's like someone's already like built, and then you're like, okay, here, check it out, it runs. I'm gonna sell it to you. Oh, cool. Let me drive it real quick. Oh, you want your radio on it? Here you go.
Mhm.
Like, I
Yeah.
think that would be a good way to do it if you're, or just be buddy buddy with somebody that's got one, right? Like,
Well, that's what it has to
Drive
be,
other
right?
people's cars.
Like you have to be buddy buddy with everybody, right? Or else you don't learn. Like if you
That's
never
true.
ask, you will never learn.
yeah.
Like the only thing that you know is what you do, right?
hmm
So
there's a guy yesterday that he's been at the track maybe 3-4 weeks now. I overheard him talk to his buddies like, I don't really want to ask people for help because I don't know anybody. And I just helped his buddy, like with his car.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, let me see your car. So I drove it
Yeah.
around the track, and like I was like, okay, you're not getting enough sand, you're not getting enough of this. And then so we adjusted it a little bit. His Ackerman was like this.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, that's why every time he gets in the corner, he's just
stuck.
crab walking and he's super slow.
Yeah.
And then everybody pulls away. It's like everybody's so fast. I'm like, and then as soon as I change it, it's like, dude, thank you, night and day.
Yep.
Yep.
But so that's what it comes like. Expectation is a lot of this learning process, right? So I forget who it was, but it was Joey Tam or Steve Fujita who did an article about like, or it wasn't even an article, but it was a post about just like, well, if you give a car to someone, right, and it drives like crap, or this is a brand new car to them, like either RMX or Yokomo RTR or Red Cat, right? The expectation of an RTR is that you pull it out of the box and it drives.
Yeah.
Well, the expectation that you have is that, oh, you bought something that should drift right out of the box. The Yokomo doesn't necessarily it's not nice about it, but it kind of wobbles around. The RMX is fine, right? The RDS is probably just as good, but it's these expectations of like, well, I should be fine, right?
Yeah.
So no matter how you go about it, the idea is that you need someone, like it's an apprenticeship program, really. Like John and I, we literally handed like my FMX and my RMX like between each other to see like what kind of a tune that we could get. Like this was back in the garage days where we
Yeah.
yeah. So
Those are coming back.
right. But it's like we did different things to see if we could get any speed out of it, right? Because I always felt like the RMX at that time was always on the edge. I could never like keep it in check. It was fast, but it could never be like tame, right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is, but my expectation of that chassis was, oh, it's a $600 chassis. It's supposed to be the best thing that's out here. Like,
yeah.
So the funny thing about this story is that I had an RMX, I had an FXX, I had a Yokomo YD2 Plus, not an E, a Plus.
OG YD2. Yeah.
Right. My first competition that I won was with a Yokomo DP, John's Yokomo DP, that I fixed.
Trip package.
So like, anything can work, right? And it's the time and effort that you take to put into it.
Yeah, and if you have that know-how to do it, for sure. I mean, shoot, Lance started drifting a TT01 or 02, TT02, you know, converted to rear-wheel drive when we all got started, and better than some of these guys that I see on the internet with, you know, their converted cars and they're just doing donuts. It's like, are you though?
So I got the opportunity to drive Lance's TT02, or one of them, on the oval track at Northwest. I have no idea how he does it. He's like Superman with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think a lot of us have tunes like your car. you're like, oh, I could drive the car just fine. It's yeah, you could drive it. We could drive it fine, but like I grab someone else's car and it's not. It doesn't drive as good as I want it to,
So
or it drives better than my car, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
all the time. But here's
Yeah.
what happens with John, right? He'll come and he'll be like, my car's slow, and then I'll drive his car and be perfectly fine. And it was like, what's wrong with your car? I don't know what's wrong with your car.
Yep. Yeah, some days, man. There's just some days.
there's definitely days.
Oh god.
Lately it's been weird because I'll have like the first few laps that you do with your car, you're like kind of warming up, or oh, that's weird, my car was weird like that, or you're like just put it down and it goes like
Yep.
Yeah.
so like I didn't like CLSD, and
That's
then
good.
I've been running CLSD for like 3 weeks now, and it's been great. Haven't had any issues. I think last time it was because the car was too fast. So I had to like tone it down a little bit.
I just got rid of my Golem right before the CLSD for that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, my Yogi is so good. You drove it, right?
No, I haven't driven it yet.
Oh, Neil was the one that was like freaked out by it. Like
I'll have to drive it tomorrow.
right.
that means I
Pod
have to bring
Yogi.
it.
Jeez.
Oh, you have to bring tune tools too, or update tools.
I'll be right back. I
Okay.
need to go get some more water. I'm sorry.
No problem. But yeah, you got to bring your update tools tomorrow, Adam, please, and thank you.
Why?
I need to update the S bus
Why?
because it won't read my RAD ESC.
But it won't go. I mean, we'll have to flash it back if you ever want to use it on your Futaba again.
No, because the Futaba has a Futaba. It has a Futaba S bus. So this is an actual AccuVans S bus.
Is it the one in the plastic case, or is it like in the heat shrink wrap?
Heat shrink wrap.
Okay. Then yes, we have to update it.
Cool. Yep. That's it.
That's fine. That is fine. We can do that. I'll have to charge the laptop.
It's okay. So I forgot to charge them.
Oh, they're still probably.
No, because it died last time.
That's right.
And then I had it plugged in, and I turned off the laptop and unplugged it.
No, so
and
it
then
wasn't charging.
everything. Well, no, it charged it for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to dinner, and I was like, I should have kept it plugged in.
Mm-hmm. No,
So.
for sure. Okay, so I don't know. So last week we were talking. Was it last week that I was talking about Pro Squat, or Pro Squat was brought up? I think last week Pro Squat was brought up. Yeah. So I played with it again this week, and sure enough, it did exactly what I said it would last time when I don't run any Pro Squat. It's kind of an interesting dynamic. So with Pro Squat, I feel like the car handles better overall. Like the transitions and the overall dynamic of the car feels better. But without Pro Squat, I just have all the speed. Like it rips everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know what I like. Like it kind of reminds me of going back to the deli days, right? Because like I had a fast car, but I could never keep it like in a corner. Like it would never lose the speed or scrub the speed fast enough to be able to like make it around the track easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, like when Deli was back, that I had the YD2 and the RMX going at the time with like old tunes. So yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how it's weird how you can drive a car or a certain tune and you're on someone's door all day long, or you have a car that it's fast but it seems like you can never be on someone's door. It's either too fast and you're slowing down so you don't hit them, or like it's weird. Like I'm between the whole it's faster but I like my car to be faster when I'm sideways and on the door with somebody, so I could easily go zzz, and then
Yeah.
transition. I could slow down and like do it the other way.
Mhm.
Yep.
I haven't found the perfect like. Well, okay, I'm not tuning the RDX. I mean, the RDX is just the RDX, but I would like to get to that point where I'm like fast all around and then on someone's door, but slow down and still be sideways the whole time I'm tandeming with them. So lately, I've been finding myself, if I slow down, I have to straighten out to slow
Yep.
down. And my car grips up if I give it more throttle, and it just pushes forward.
Mhm.
Yep. So my problem on the P telecomp that we had is that I was behind Elliot.
Uh,
What's wrong with Elliot?
He's a lot slower than I am.
It's weird because you guys say that.
No, I don't think you know like the difference between like the Yogi has like a crap ton of forward bite and it's kind of freaky. But yeah, it was hard for me to like pretty much every corner that I had that I tried to keep on his door, like it was like turbo everywhere because I needed more wheel speed everywhere.
Okay, so that's how I feel when I follow them. But like Elliot's not a slow driver at
No,
all.
no,
It's
he did
stupid
really, really
'cause
well. He did great. I think
him and
he went home with a plaque.
yeah.
Okay,
Jake, speaking of tandems, Jake and I had a few really good laps. I think Alex was there that night. We were just going back and forth, like yeah.
Hmm.
It was like a Friday night, midnight thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was weird. Like we were just tandeming back and forth.
oh, there
Right.
was a couple nights on that Friday that Lance, myself, and Neil were up there that just we would get into a run and just go. It was so much fun.
and
It
isn't
reminded me of the old days of drifting.
it funny that you never intended it? That's just how you drive. But
Mm.
then, like the instant that you try to do a big train with everybody and no one can do it,
Yep.
Or when the camera comes out.
or when the
Yo,
camera
always,
goes out,
always.
or
When
when
you
the
put
judge
pressure on
says go.
people, they choke every time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Last topic. Sliding rack battle
Oh,
or steering rack battle. This
oh,
was
heckity heck.
this was Jake's topic of choice.
Yo,
Slide rack versus
All racks.
rack versus all the other ones.
now
Yeah.
I personally like all racks. I think some of them look different, some of them feel different, but they're all the same and they all feel fantastic at the end of the day.
So you're okay with like a loose rack being all shaky and whatnot?
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes a loose rack happens, but most of the time firm racks are pretty good too. I like I said, man, I'm non-biased. I like all racks.
I mean, but there are racks that are available where you can tighten it up.
There's different things you can do to tighten up some racks, but I don't know, they just don't seem,
Or yeah.
they're a little invasive.
All
I
right, so
mean-
between the direct, what is it? Direct drive steering system,
Yeah.
and the belt crank, versus the Yokomo slide rack or any other slide rack. What do you prefer, Alex?
Bell crank.
What have you driven?
I have driven all of it. I have driven slides, bell cranks, and direct drives. For my driving style, the bell crank feels the best. And I was actually really looking forward to Overdoses. I'm doing the thing again. I was really looking forward to Overdoses bell crank that had come out, and it still is awesome looking. I love it. But yeah, bell cranks are what I prefer. I just feel like you get so much more tunability in your wiper arms, than you do a slide rack. You're kind of limited in as far as the slide rack is concerned.
Only recently though, right? Because like
That's true.
time and time again, like the original Yokomo bell crank, right? You screwed the ball studs from the top, and then you had like different holes for tunability. The Rev D rack really changed the game up, where they kind of did the hybrid thing of like making it so that the ball studs are going in
Well,
line with
instead of vertical, yeah.
yeah. So and that changed the game because the Ackerman setup on those cars are so easy now.
Yes.
Like I don't it was interesting because like on a YD2S, right? Like some rando person came in with their flipped upside down front arms that I had to fix, right? Like that person. Like I could always get their steering rack close and I knew which holes to like use to get really, really close, but I could never get it right. And
Yeah.
that was the problem with like the fixed holes on the original bell crank. But now we have the Rev D bell crank. We have
Which I really like. I'd like
yeah.
to work my Yokomo.
The only downside to the Rev D bell crank is its cost.
Yeah.
Like if you do all of it and all of it the Rev D way, then you're looking at like $220.
Yeah, for a bell crank.
Yeah, because it's like $180 for the actual bell crank, and then you need the ASL knuckles. Is it the ASL knuckles?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the one that doesn't have the KPI adjustment on it.
Oh, that's the ASL is the KPI adjustable one.
Okay, so it's
Well,
the one.
They call it the bell crank knuckles. If
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
it's another 3-letter acronym that I don't remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, 130 now.
Yeah.
It was an expensive bell crank when I bought it then. So
When we bought it.
Yeah. So the cool thing, SG knuckles, that's what they are.
Mhm.
So like I was saying, the good thing that they got right on the Rev D is the Ackerman adjustment, as well as they pitched the actual the rack, I think 3 degrees. So it has that, like, it's very similar to a slide rack in terms of what that rack is doing up front. But you do have the inherent problems with like the slop that a bell crank has.
Yep.
Which honestly, I don't mind because I don't think
either.
it doesn't mind. It doesn't matter to me that much.
I don't. It never matters to me that the little you usually get the tire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that never really bothered me unless you're really going for like looks. You know, if you wanted to be super smooth, you know. But slide racks are amazing feeling, especially with my CoPro setup. So I don't know if you guys have ever played with a CoPro Pro, but the servo has almost no tension behind it. It's just super smooth every way. You tap my front wheels and you turn my servo. You know, with the slide rack, that made the feel almost feel direct.
Mm-hmm.
It felt very similar to a direct slide rack setup. But that was only that combo. I will say though that slide racks in general just feel better, and they get rid of all of that slop that bell cranks have. If that bothers you enough to spend the money, totally.
Or if you don't follow the directions in the instruction manual and don't realize that their screws are cammed.
That too. Yep.
I had to search. I searched the Super G Facebook page for an answer for that. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so going back to the bell crank though, like as far as tunability goes, the bell crank does have more inherent tunability than the slide rack does. Especially if we're talking about the Yokomo slide racks, because the Yokomo slide racks require their proprietary servo horns. I mean, I guess require is not the right word because you can use other things, but for the most part, especially in the MD1 you have to use their servo horn, or else it just doesn't work.
I never had that issue because oh wait, I never had a slide rack on my Yokomos. No, that's not true. On my YD2 Plus, I had a slide rack on it, or I don't know, my big fancy red one I had at one point. That had a slide rack on it, and I didn't have to use any special horn for it.
You didn't use the Yokomo like little angled thing.
Oh hell no! I throw
No,
those.
I think that's more on the newer, like the SX3 chassis. Is when they started that.
Mm-hmm. So okay, the ZX and the MD1 are very very specific to that chassis. That's
Mhm.
100%. But as far as like the servo horn, when I got my SX3, it had like that. It was like a little bent angled servo horn that it came with,
Mhm.
which is funny because they don't actually work on Futaba CT500 servos.
Uh,
Weird.
Like Brian had to trim, like shave the servo horn so that it would actually like go around the perimeter of the servo.
Was that because it's not a 25?
No, nothing to do with servo spline. It was the fact that the servo horn was hitting the actual servo. Sorry guys. Back to tunability of a bell crank. You can change the actual servo horn length, right? And based off of the servo horn length, you can actually make your steering rack more snappy or more relaxed. So a shorter servo horn is going to make your car more relaxed, whereas a longer is going to make it snap just
Yep.
because it's that much faster. You can't do that with a slide rack.
No.
Especially with a wrap up next slide rack. Big no.
That's funny that was on the topic sheet today because I have no experience with the version 2 of that, but I do have experience with the version 1 VX dock. And God, that thing was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. And to think that it was meant to be placed on like a Yokomo DP drift package.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get it right, like with the stock holes, but it would never do what I wanted it to. Now that I know what I know now, it's not too much of an effort, but I am going to be sitting tinkering on that that steering rack for the next like 2 hours trying to get it right.
Mhm.
Just because of shimming, just because of where I need to space the upper arms out and in relationship to like where the lowers are.
Yeah.
It's all a big mess. And same thing with the V2. The V2 wrap up next stock is a very very big improvement over the V1 because they basically made a Yokomo slide rack.
Mhm.
However, Yokomo has the best adjustment on their SX3, like so their original slide rack and their lightweight aluminum one. When they went to the MD1, they went backwards. They basically went back to like wrap up neck style in terms of tension adjustment. So like like I would say RMX VIP is where this originates. So you have that one screw that you like tighten, loosen and tighten just to get that one bearing in the right place.
That's like Overdose. Overdose is a single bearing tensioner.
No, Overdose did it smart though.
Yeah, it's a grub screw.
Right. Overdose did, yeah, I don't have a problem with Overdose's slide rack.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about with Yokomo. Yeah.
So yeah, the Yokomo cam screws, brilliant design. And then they went backwards on the MD1, which I don't get. It's probably just for weight savings, which annoys the crap out of me. And then we have direct steering slide racks. Direct drive steering.
Direct drive steering system.
Yeah.
I like them.
I want to play with one a little bit longer than 5 minutes.
I have 3 of them.
Yeah,
take one for a drive.
I've had the benefit of using a couple of them and owned one, and I like it a lot. I like how sensitive it is. The input that when I was talking about, the my CoPro with a slide rack and the sensitivity. I love how sensitive a direct drive feels. You know, if I start turning, my car reacts with me exactly when I want it to.
Mhm.
Which doesn't fit for everybody. I get that for sure. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird. You guys know my driving style.
Mhm.
You would
It
suspect myself not liking a direct drive, I would assume, just because of how lackadaisical I like my cars to be.
I mean, no, because you're still connected to your car. Like
Mhm.
anything more direct is always going to feel better for the most part. At the
Mhm.
same time, direct drive is I would say a double-edged sword because of that sensitivity. Um, so John, I think, will actually hate it. Like not,
In the longevity of it,
no, just because of the wheel wobble. Because right now he's like, did you figure out the wheel wobble issue that you have, John?
Yeah, we figured out on Northwest that Monday it came out.
Okay, so wheel wobble is a really real thing on the Shark, the Rhino front ends, just because it's direct drive.
Mhm.
Like
Hmm.
it's one of those things, right? So as long as you tune everything right, you can minimize it pretty well. But there's always like all of my cars have a pretty rad wheel wobble on like boost. So
Yeah.
As long as your wheel wobble is not doing this while you're driving,
mhm.
Now you're talking too. You're not talking cornering wheel wobble where you just have a floppy wheel sometimes at like full lock. You're talking you're talking turbo wheel wobble where
Yep.
the vibration comes through and affects your steering, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. A little bit different.
That that's a real problem with direct drive. I agree with you 100%. If you have a servo or you're tuning really sensitive, like I'm sorry, it should be gyro that would cause that really.
Mhm.
But if you're very sensitive, like have a very sensitive setup, yeah, that's there's no way to mitigate it. I mean, you can mitigate it with enough sticky tabs you know, to kind of
Double-sided
stack
tape.
up and yeah, thank you. Double-sided tape. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. And that could mitigate it a fair bit, actually. What I think most people need to do with that though, to completely erase that, if you're running a gosh, I'm so sorry, I lost my train of thought. To mitigate that, Overdose did it with that stupid little sure it's for the gyro. It goes like smack dab in the center on the bottom deck. It raises the gyro up on
Mhm.
like basically a little pedestal.
Yep.
I think that on most, if not all, direct drive cars would mitigate that issue tenfolds.
So you're just talking about isolation, vibration isolation.
Has to, yeah. I mean that's the only way to really get rid of that, and that's a lot easier said than done on a lot of these cars.
Okay, I have an idea. It involves drone dampening standoffs.
That would be can that well would that work or hinder us?
It'd work. It'd
You
work enough. Cuz
That's a clever idea, man.
it's not like our gyros have like that much mass where it's actually going to be like rolling over itself.
No, but I'm talking about the vibrations from surface and turbo. That
Yeah.
does create a lot of vibration.
Honestly, I bet you if I just unplugged the fans that are on that chassis, I'd be fine. Cuz
Right.
like you're right.
I had that issue a couple weeks ago. I was setting up the YD2 and couldn't get my Dias to respond to my inputs I was given. I was like, I was getting pissed. And then finally I was like, you know what? Just because I unplugged all my fans, sure enough, it was a fan causing the issue. I was like, I hate this thing so much. I don't though. I love my overdose, Dios, Copropo Dios, whatever you want to call it. I love them.
Mhm. No, it's definitely a good servo, like good setup overall.
Yeah, everyone. Hey, you guys can keep your 550s. I'm gonna sit over here and run old school.
I don't know, man. The 550's pretty good.
I know they are, and
Okay,
I
so 550, right? Gyro. But I really want to try Rev D everything. Like-
same. Oh,
I just want to. I just want to. I want to be like, okay, that's not for me. I'm going back to my 550 with my Yokomo.
So remember
Yeah.
how I was talking about expectations? That's
Well,
That's exactly what the RDX is. Is it's supposed to meet the expectation of this is a car when put together, you can't screw it up. This is how it's supposed to drive. This is what a good tuned car is going to drive like.
which is cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I like the way it drives. I was kind of disappointed when I found out it was all non-adjustable or anything like that. I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. But it does feel good. I got to drive yours, John, and I was like, this thing is freaking sweet. Like,
He was like, this thing is trash.
I want to buy one, you know?
And I've said it before, like if you actually look really, really closely at that tune on the RDX, it has a little bit of toe in, like
Yeah.
right in the middle of the steering arc. But it
Yep.
still it hangs on. It doesn't get stuck in the crab walk. It does what you need it to.
Yep. Very friendly. That is a very friendly car. But the right electronics, it could be a real ripper.
And it's a solid diff.
Yes.
Wait, not mine. Mine
It's
never
a
had
solid diff.
Nope, mine never had a solid diff.
No, but I have driven it with the solid
With
diff.
the solid.
And honestly, it was probably more aggressive with the solid diff.
Damn it! Now I have to find the box and see what that diff is.
Oh, that's funny.
But I mean, like as far as CLSD goes, then if that's the case, throw all the gears in it. Make the initiation point really, really early.
But don't you get that when you just put the soft springs in?
No, it's the other way around because with the softer springs, you need more centrifugal motion. Well, the softer springs is gonna engage earlier, right,
Mhm.
than harder springs. So what I'm saying is that to beat that, you need soft springs and all 8 gears in it, because then your engagement point is really early on.
Hmm.
When I did that, my car felt really, really weird and unpredictable.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever buy a CLSD now that I don't have a Golem. I don't have a purpose for it.
You have a Whitey too.
Yeah, see, again, we're coming back to this whole like, is it worth upgrading? Do I really need to upgrade? Like,
No.
is it something that I
No.
actually need?
So all of the people, well, the people that I've talked to that kind of have the inside scoop about CLSD and like everything Rhino, usually what their counterparts talk about is that if you know how to tune a diff, then that's all that you need. And we're not talking about CLSD, we're just talking about diff overall, right? So whether you need a loose diff or whatever tightness or like oil thickness you need in your diff, as long as you know how to tune for that to your surface, then you're golden. CLSD is just kind of the handicap, kind of the same way that Razor Performance put the definition on flexible chassis. But in essence, what they said is that flexible chassis are for the people that don't know how to tune their dampers.
Yeah, they are.
So
It's true. I mean, granted, you can get so much bite out of it if you also know how to excel at tuning in general, with your dampers and whatnot. But it's true. High flex, if you suck at tuning dampers, slap a high flex chassis on it or deck plate and you'll be golden.
I mean, so the whole hiccup in my thought process about this is that if you have the tools to make your car better, or we know that it does make your car better, why wouldn't you use it?
Because you're a cheap ass like me.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like these are the guys that are like total like A-type click people, right? Like, let's put them in that category. Why would you want to hinder yourself from not being able to use an advantage?
But they don't. They all do. Like, I mean, any of these guys you see out there also like that are competitive or high-end competitive drivers are they know how to tune their dampers and they are running anything and everything that gives them that tiniest little bit of an edge.
Right, but these are the same guys that are saying that like there's no point in using the CLSD. But we know that the CLSD can have like it's a hybrid, right? It can be open, it can be locked.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't run into anybody say, no, you shouldn't use one. I haven't run into any talk on the CLSD, probably because I've been staying away from the drift pages. They're kind of gross now.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
touch on that for a second? Have you guys noticed? It's got to just be me, but the worldwide drift page on Facebook, which was never the greatest page in the beginning, has just exploded in the last couple of months with so many new drivers. Like my Facebook is just slammed with all the typical newbie questions and stuff. And I'm like, God, I hate this. Not that there's anything about new people. I'm sorry for any new people watching, but it's one of those things where it's just like you see it so much. You're like, God, this question's been answered a million times.
Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to the page.
Oh, it pops up all the time for me. I'm like, God, I hate this. I need to unfollow it.
But you don't.
No, I don't. I don't unfollow it because I'm like,
You also want to see the drama and what people talk about on there.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of like, yeah,
It's kind of like the post that John just posted on 7 minutes ago on the PDX RC Underground page. Hello,
Yeah.
all. I'm longtime RC enthusiast, but first-time drifter. I'm doing some research before purchasing my first drift kit. Please post which chassis you drive and would you buy it again? I'm trying to see what's popular at the track, while also trying to decide which tier of kit to start off with. Thanks. John, come out to PDX and check out our car.
Wait. I haven't seen this. I'm trying to find it right now.
It was
It's
8
supposed to be
minutes ago.
hot. Hang on.
Yeah, well, my
You're applying
Facebook
for like
page
chats and everything.
PDX Underground Drift.
Yeah. I joined that page today.
I think my internet just freaking hates me.
I mean, you're still streaming, so it can't hate you that much.
Hello all. Yes, I see.
I mean, I don't mind new questions, like noobs and their questions, but when it's like to the point where honestly just come to the track and find out, like if you're there, then you're there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This just came out. This comes out of left field, and I'm about to lose my. I love this. This reminds me. Do you guys remember? Do you guys know the story of when Lance got in trouble at the old
Oh, you
Pitano track?
You saw the flag thing. Yeah, we do. For all of those who don't know, this was when the Dully existed, and essentially what happened is that Lance bought a backfire kit, a light kit from Super G, and was basically trashed on because he wasn't supporting local businesses.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you have it in stock, then that's a totally different game. Anyway, there's current drama like that right now.
I know. I kind of want to comment on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a local scene, and it's like, I see the drama. I'm on there, and I'm still on there just because I want to see what happens next.
This is your local scene.
Hey, I just go there. I don't run the place or help.
Dude,
run the
John,
place.
you're pretty much me at Northwest.
Yeah.
That's how much influence you have up there. Yeah, it's no small influence, by the way.
I'm commenting on it.
Oh, great. Here we go.
I look for local parts local first. If not, then I buy online. John is Portland Adam.
God
That
damn
sounds
it.
so weird.
I had to reply to it. It was nothing bad. It was nothing negative. But I am gonna share this and send it to Jake so he can.
Dude, John, I got called Bardwell last week.
Bardwell for RC
Bardwell.
drifting.
Yeah. Well, no, we
Yeah,
were
that's funny.
talking about RC like Bardwell, and it Anyway.
Oh, they replied.
You should tell him to watch the stream because we can talk about it right now. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
we can.
100% serious.
We can literally.
Hang on. I'm trying to reply. Damn it. If my shit will let me copy this.
What a turn of events. Live action for you folks right now. Oh.
Right. Trying to copy the link. It's not working.
Really? Why isn't it not working for you? Here, hold on. It not working for you.
I got it.
Oh, fine. Okay. While we're kind of in limbo right now, April 14th, 15th, and 16th, is Hobby Expo?
Yeah.
Sunday, I'm still on the fence until payday.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It'll just be one of those days though where it's like never ending.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Those are my favorite drift days.
Yeah, not when you're leaving to go up there on that same day.
That's true.
yeah, because Adam has to wake up, leave his house at what, 4?
To get there by
Open time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around there. Hey, I have a nice little new car that can make it up there now.
So I've been talking to Kayla since she's buying her roof tent with taxes. I'm like, yo, if you get a roof tent, we could just camp out in the parking lot, which means I need to talk Lance and Jake into just camping out in the parking lot, and then we'll be all out there with Todd. We can have a whole little clique out there just hanging out. I'm stepping it up. I'm bringing it to the next level here. I have a portable propane fire pit, so we can
Nice.
go all out with it. Yo, Jake's here. He knows. He hears it. He's like, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that'd be a rad time for sure.
Oh man, it'd be killer. I'd drive my RER all night long outside in the parking lot.
We'll kick you out.
It's like these guys, they just don't stop.
Nope, it's a problem.
And
Then
what?
get up at like 6 a.m. with Todd and go inside and play. Heck yeah.
I don't know if that guy's gonna watch though.
Well, that's too bad.
There's only 10 minutes left of the stream anyway.
I mean, it's however long we want it to make.
Oh, that's true.
But seriously though, I mean, like realistically, in terms of what everyone's buying, like I'd still, since RDX is not a thing, then YD2Z all day long.
I haven't driven to Z, so I have no
You've driven my Mini.
I haven't. What?
Have you driven a Mini?
Yeah, but I've only really driven Lances. That's a Z, I guess.
Yep. Close enough.
That is a Z. That is a lot. That's a Z with a load transfer like thing that's going on lately. A lot of weight up top.
Mm-hmm.
Which Super G has the SD 1.0 with the LCG system on it.
Oh, I have driven a Z, apparently. Never mind. Sorry.
No.
Look, there's just so many letters out there. I don't know what's what
Right.
anymore.
There's a lot. And Yokomo had to be retarded about it and then change everything to like RD 1.0, SD 1.0, MD 1.0.
You know, still, I think Red Cat should have just crushed it and just started naming them, Drift Car 1, Drift Car 2, Drift Car 3. That's
No.
someone needs to just get on that and stop with this whole, oh, this is the new Yokomo GE42Z. No, stop. Yokomo Drift Car number 18. That's it.
Well, I mean, it's like iPhone.
At least iPhone has been consistent. We've been iPhone 10, 11, 12. Like, come on. Yokomo's all out there being crazy with stuff. Just label it Drift Car 1 through, however many you plan to do.
Jake's complaining about my choice of words. I'm sorry, Jake. Let me refresh it. Yokomo is trying to be too progressive with their naming schemes.
They are very progressive with their naming schemes, and I don't like it. The world's progressive enough. I don't need my Yokomos to be progressive too.
Although we do need progressive spring rates. Those help out.
Yeah, 100%, man. Progressive spring rates are a must-have. Good Lord. Especially for running like the kind of surfaces we really tune for now,
Well, I mean, I think that's a generation thing. Like, we're all to the point where like high weight shift is a thing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Speaking of progressive springs, RDX stock springs, money.
Yeah.
But A-Main has the new progressive springs out.
You don't need it. You just need the RDX springs.
But how do you know, John? You've never tried.
Because I've driven with the other ones before. The RDX springs have been the best springs so far.
But they're not the same.
Like, that's one thing. It's not the same, but it is progressive.
No, I'm
I'm
saying that the new RDX springs that are on A-Main right now are not the same like springs that we have that are from Rev D.
I know. Which one are you talking about? Is it the
ones that are
one or something like that?
I don't know.
Or is it the kit?
SSR1.
Okay,
RVD1
those,
SSR1.
Those are the factory springs from the RDX, and they're good.
They're also short too.
They fit.
Oof.
So I literally don't run preloads on those springs. I just have it enough so the cup meets the spring.
Oh,
the spring isn't all loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I came to the conclusion because I finally understood why John is about springs, because of coilovers and doing research on coilovers. And I think it's funny because the only spring that fits the bill is the Overdose HG3s.
Man, I would love a set of HG3s.
Because it literally adjusts the same way as a real coilover does.
Hmm.
That's it, John. You need to go get HG3s.
$300 spring set, bro.
Nope.
Or
have you seen how the RDX drive? Don't need any of that.
I'm just saying.
Halfway now, and then we get to Northwest tomorrow, and it's gonna be like, damn, I need a different car.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna have a hard stop at 10 for myself because I haven't eaten dinner, unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks. But no, we're pretty much done. I don't have anything else to talk about. So
I have nothing more to add.
I was gonna be all happy if the dude was gonna join in and be like, "Hey,
I mean, we do have
this.
16 watchers, but I don't think he commented.
16 whole watchers. Holy heck!
Yep.
You're becoming a real YouTuber, Adam.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my!
I mean, he did get asked to do a Chinese version of one of the videos.
I mean, but hey, since we're here, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the fun stuff. At Yadbot.
Got like and subscribble.
Right? Or we could do like and punch that subscription button, or I don't know.
Something fun, something aggressive,
Right.
But, yes. Mitch.
Charlie. Hey, what's up, Charlie? He's one of the PDX local. He recently upgraded to a a 7PXR radio,
Ooh.
and he's like night and day.
Money.
Ooh. At least he
Money.
didn't rage quit. I raged quit and bought a 7PXR. That happened.
Well, he was driving with a Spectrum DX5 something.
Oh, did his spring break?
Ooh,
No, he just
goodness.
I kept talking about it, and he just upgraded.
Oh,
Found a
okay.
good deal, so
Good
Yeah,
job.
it's a killer radio. Just wait. He can run it over too, like I rode mine over.
I mean, if anything, for Spectrum, it was just a matter of time before that spring broke.
I
Anyways,
think the Spectrum would be probably really nice to drift with if the spring was missing from it.
no, that happened to Chuck.
Did it?
Yeah, it happened to Chuck at Hot Import Nights. Like, he fixed it and then it broke again that same night.
Oh, gee. Goodness gracious.
Speaking
Cool.
of, like, you know that Chuck is still like he's in Car X now.
Yeah, I know. I was worried about him for a long while there. I thought he wasn't alive anymore, and no offense to him, but I was like, uh-oh.
I think we all had that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the last time we saw him was
Hot
just when
Import
COVID
Expo.
was starting. It was the last time Lance and I saw him, and I was like, uh-oh, did the COVID get him? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Speaking of
So-
Car X, I am back to playing Car X on my 7PX. So if you
Nice.
need
Nice.
if you need hints on getting like your actual axes set up, let me know because I can. I don't know. Maybe I should do a video about it. No,
should.
it's too nerdy.
No,
Let's do a video on it, but I need to get the dongle first.
Yeah, I also need to get one too because I use Car X for practicing drifting for track days.
Arduino micros.
Nice.
That's the
All
way to do
right.
it.
So Ben, or I think that's Matt, that was asking questions on the chat or on the group for PDXRC, just chimed in. About popular in the odd area. Yep, he is the one asking a question on PDXRC Underground about popular drift kit.
Oh, nothing. Don't buy anything. Get a crawler. Don't drift. It's not fun.
Alex, you can go eat food if you want.
Oh, cool. I'm angry.
Or do you want to be a part of it?
We did just have that conversation kind of at the beginning of the video in regards to like beginner cars and stuff like that. We all know what I'm going to say.
Calm.
No, MST, bro. Go on,
Okay, but the assumption is that he's already into RC.
Mhm.
So do we know if does he have good radio equipment?
Matt, you want to answer that?
Crystals don't count.
Crystals
I
count?
would say he does.
Honestly, so okay. I think that running an AM or an FM radio today would be perfectly fine.
Oh, you wouldn't have any interference. Hell no.
You wouldn't,
think
you
he'd be
wouldn't stand
good.
a chance. All right, but seriously though, so he, assuming he's got good setup, like he said he does.
What do you have?
He didn't message. He's on the chat, but he's.
I know. That's why I'm saying, what does he have, so he can answer. Anyway,
Okay.
keep on going.
So I would say I would start out with like a YD2Z, if you're like a kit build type kind of guy. But if you're like, I just want a car ready to go, I would say the RMX 2.5 RTR. You get a cool body of your choice if they're available. It's driftable out of the box. It could use better electronics for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, I want to build a kit, YD2Z would be your most entry level. Oh, he's looking at the MRX GT and the SE 1.0.
Which I think that's supposed to be SD.
SD 1.0. I think the SD is pretty close to what the Z is.
Between the two, the MRX GT is not in stock. SD 1.0 is, and you can get the SD 1.0 as if you get it from Super G, you can get the the high battery mount one too. So if you're being adventurous, then yeah, that'd be a good step to try.
Mhm. But typically with Yokomo, you get a lot of aftermarket support, and a lot more people have played with them. So I think basically all of us in the chat so far, or yeah, I want to say in the chat, started with some sort of a Yokomo RC drift car.
Yep.
Uh,
The thing is that if you want turnkey, just go get a Yokomo, because everyone has had one. So if you are having troubles, you can literally go up to anyone and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they
or
will most
or if
likely know.
you're learning and you're not quite there, when you hit a wall and you break something, one of the guys will have.
Almost everyone will have a part for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true.
Well, gentlemen, I am gonna bow out. I'm gonna go get some food. It was fun chatting with you and you. I had a blast. I know that's true. Whoa! All right, guys.
Hey, man, we'll see
It's
you
been
later.
a real pleasure. It was great being on the show, I guess you want to call it. So
Yep.
I'm gonna bow out though and go get me some yummies.
Do
Cool, we'll
it.
see you.
Good
Go
night,
get full.
guys.
Later.
Hey Matt, if you have any follow-up question, feel free to message me directly on the other group chat or Facebook page. I can get some better answers for you that's not on here. You kind of caught us right at the end. So
Honestly though, your best bet, don't do anything until you do what John said. In the response, go and visit PDX Underground like on one of their Fridays, or just any day that anyone is there, really, and just ask and see if you can drive anybody's car, because that's going to be the best bet of how to know if you're going to like it or not. Just show up. Everyone is going to be more than willing. Almost everyone is going to be more than willing to like just see and want to, like, if you're interested and you don't have any intent in running their car just directly into a wall, like, bumper kisses, those are okay, but intentionally just like running into the wall, yeah, we don't like that. But yeah, just show up, because everyone is cool, because everyone is awesome,
mhm.
because
We'll be
everything
out
is
there. You'll
awesome.
see some videos. We'll post more videos. There's gonna be another promo video that's coming out for PDX RC Underground Drift. I am in a process of making a video for my YouTube channel, and it will be posted on that drift page for PDX also. So for you guys that will be there tomorrow, I will have some stickers with the PDX carpet speed style. It's gonna be $2 a piece. Adam, do you have anything to add?
Not really. Just a reminder, April 14th, 15th, and 16th is Hobby Expo, and then the next month after that, May 7th, is our first event.
Mm-hmm. Our first Super G Series drift competition.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't registered, make sure that you register, because that is critical if you want, or even if you're not thinking about like register or competing down south, go register anyway, because you could change your opinion like somewhere down in the middle of the competition, and who knows, you could be the next drift champion of the Oregon region. You never know.
Right?
But make sure to register if you do want to compete, because at least you did it. There's no cost, no harm to you or anyone else, other than the fact that your picture's online. That's about it. I will be at Northwest tomorrow. John, you're coming to Northwest tomorrow?
Maybe. No, I'll be there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, you literally just said that you're gonna be...
Yeah, I'll bring this with me tomorrow. Yeah, some stickers. So.
I know that some other guys are going to be coming down from Portland as well. Judson's going to be coming down.
Yep, I think there's at least 6 or 8 of us ish.
Right
Don't
on.
quote me yet.
So it'll be like normal days.
Right.
Or sorry. I guess I have to say it'll be like the olden days.
the olden days. Yeah, because now we're kind of separated a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Cool.
it's been fun, you guys. We'll try to be on next week, hopefully. If if there's a week where I'm not gonna stream, I'll try to post up like a little video or something
Yep.
to say that
so
I'm
you
not
guys
doing a
can
video.
watch it.
Yep. Okay. We are gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna
Later,
end it.
guys.
Bye.